Find what you want. Ooh, Lord.
More of the cracks on that than others, really.
Yeah. More frames. She like music boxes. Welcome back to South Georgia Home. My name is Gail. Got a haul for you I got some stuff from a thrift store. I've got a couple of things from an antique store, and I think we went to 2 estate sales. I think we went to 2 estate sales. They weren't great estate sales, but we got a few things. I do want to give you an update on one of the things that I showed on here that I bought at an estate sale, and I told you it was the Croc that had the damaged bottom and that yellow freaky paint. A couple of people suggested, one person suggested the antibacterial gel, Walmart brand and antibacterial. I didn't have any, but another person suggested Easy Off, which I have the Walmart brand Easy Off, and the only reason that I have it, I don't clean my oven with it. We can have a self-cleaning oven. But the only reason I have it is back when I collected Pyrex. You know, if you got a piece of Pyrex that had, you know, the grunge and the grime and cooked on grease, you could always spray it and put it in a bag and it would fall right off. And it does. So if you ever have any baking dishes that really just have those grease spots that drive you crazy, Easy Off can't get it off. Anyway, somebody suggested that, and I said, well, I got a can of that. I'll try it. So I set the Croc in a bag and I sprayed one little spot, and my husband, I was like, do you have a razor blade that I can scrape? He says, well, yeah, but I have it in a handle, so I don't want you cutting up your hands and your fingers. So he has like a window scraper. Looks like a screwdriver handle, a long shaft, and then has a thing to hold your razor blade at the top. So I used that. So I did a small section at first, and it worked. So I sprayed the whole thing. Now, there are a couple of pieces of yellow paint still on the bottom, but it's mostly where the glue is, and I didn't really want to pick at the glue too much. It's fragile, it's old, it's kind of flaking off anyway, but I didn't really want to help it along. But we got as much of the yellow off as I dared. But look at that. If you remember what it looked like. Now it is cracked, as you can see. The bottom is really cracked. I think the bottom just fell off at one point. But yeah, this was, all that yellow was covering all that up. So again, I didn't try to get all of it off where that glue is because I just didn't want the bottom to fall off. But, and I can't remember who gave me that idea, but thank you very much, and it worked beautifully. I didn't have to scrape that hard. You spray it. I set it inside a plastic bag, sprayed it, kind of set for a minute, and you could go back and scrape it off with that scraper. Dead easy. So we'll go on to the haul. I think I'll start off. These 2 items came from an antique store, and I didn't show them to you. I think I had them with the last haul, but I just didn't show them to you. I don't think I showed them to you. Anyway, this is unmarked. I think it's just a hobby piece, but I like the way it looked. I like that little raised detail. Has its lid. It was only $10. Now, I don't know that this is food safe or anything like that, which we're not going to be using it for that. So you can see the bottom. I don't know if it just puts me in mind of a hobbyist piece. I don't know. It may just be unmarked something. But it was only $10. So I grabbed that up. And then the last booth, I think when we were going out, there was this. And I'm kind of looking for some artwork to put there right next to my bedside. I've got that needlepoint runner thing on the wall. I'm trying to just get a little collage that I'm happy with. And I like this, but I haven't quite figured out how to put it in that little collage yet. But it is an old Gaelic blessing. May the roads rise with you and the wind be always at your back. And may the Lord hold you in the hollow of his hand. And I think it's just pretty. It's got that little flower border detail. It's an older frame, just that brown. I think somebody just put a new back in it because you can see it's just one of those cheap backs. I don't think it was ever used. So pick that up to put somewhere here in the house. So, it's another thing I bought at, you'll probably see this after the decorating video if you remember the bird print in that frame by the clock. That print came from an antique store for $5. And I bought this. I have been wanting to find one of these. I think I saw a picture in a cookbook of a piece of cake that had been cut, and you could see the little, where the lines went. I've seen these. I've seen them. I've passed them up at an estate sales and antique stores before. But when I saw the picture of the cake, I knew what it was. But anyway, it lit a fire into me to buy one, to just use it for that purpose. So it isn't for resale. It isn't for just decoration. I just wanted one to use it. It is a red, and then you can see I haven't washed it yet, so it still has the sticker some of the sticker residue on it. I'm guessing that's red Bakelite handle. But a cake, you know, cake. I don't know how that does it. If you do it a couple of times or you do it back and forth, I don't know. We'll find out, I assure you that. So that, I think it was $8. The print was $5, and I think that was $8. But that was the thrift store. Now, we did 2 estate sales. And I'm going to have to show you pictures of one estate sale. I think I picked up one thing in the house. Everything else was outside. Jason picked up a, I think it's a resin. I don't think it's concrete. I think it's a resin pelican because he's from Florida. Don't ask me why. He just did. And then I picked up a little baby chick. I think that was concrete. And then a great big old rooster that was concrete. His head had been damaged somewhat, but he's outside. They concreted it back on. It looks fine, but you can tell there's a crack there on the top of his head. But he is out there in the flower bed, and he is extremely heavy. That's one of the reasons I'm glad I take my husband with me now. But we've named him Chester. We have Carl, of course, the hawk that sits on the end there trying to scare the chickens, and now Chester is in the flower bed. So that no, I did get a couple of things in their shed. And one of them, God help me, I can't find jadeite this well. I mean, I would love to find jadeite. If I walked into a shed and found jadeite, I would, you know, think, Lord, it's time. Take me home now. But I keep finding these. I don't know how many of these things I got now, 5 or 6. I think it's 6 or 7. Maybe it's 6 or 7. I'm not sure. It does have its handle. It is a little rusty. And it is a bigger one. You can see my hand hides behind it, so it is a bigger one. I would prefer, if I had my choice to find any, I would prefer getting the smaller ones, but you take what you can get. This was also outside, and I haven't washed it. It's dirty. For whatever reason, it was in the shed. It's just one of those aluminum ice cube. I remember these as a kid. I remember these. We always had a refrigerator that either didn't have an ice maker or we didn't have the ice maker hooked up to water. So we always had ice trays. And, you know, later on in life, when my mother stopped caring really about the price of anything, she would start buying the cheap little Rubbermaid ones, you know, in the grocery store, and you would be breaking them up like that. But I do remember those aluminum ones way back in my lifetime. This was the one thing I got out of the house. It will be for sale. There was no price on it, but I'll tell you, I paid for the chicken, the chick, and the pelican. I need to take a picture of those for you. The broom, the ice tray, and this, I paid $30. So, it is a big bin, West Clock. I haven't tried it yet to see if it works. Oh. Yep, I hear it ticking. I don't know if you can hear it ticking. I hear it ticking. So anyway, that will be for sale. Now the other estate sale, it wasn't great. It was we went to that one first and then this one second. It wasn't that great. It was like a double wide trailer, but they had sheds out back. Oh, I forgot. I do have one thing over there I got to get, and I'm going to show you that in a minute. Jason picked out, I thought he picked out more than this, but maybe this was all he picked out. This is a Dremel attachment set, and you can see Dremel written across. They only wanted $1 for it, so he picked that up. Yeah. I don't know why. I don't know that I have a Dremel, but maybe he can buy him one. I did pick up this little frame. You know, I'm in the hunt for some smaller frames with a little bit of fancy look to them. Not that this is what I call fancy. I would like it to be a little more fancy, but it does have a kickstand. It does have a hanger, but it does have that mat, so you can change out if you want a little bigger picture or a smaller picture. These were in, I think, in the laundry room. They were in a container. It said $1 a piece, and you saw it at the shop along. They were the serving fork, silver plated. I'm sure it's silver plated. And I can't, let's see if I can see who made it. I believe it's Rogers, WM Rogers. Isn't that what all of it is? Like Rogers. You can see and then a regular dinner fork. Now that one I'm sure I can't see. But I like the handle. That'll go in the collection. And I have never picked up one of these before, but I like the fact that it has a function. And we've had ice picks in our house, you know, growing up, just to, I don't know why really, but we always had them to break up some kind of ice or break up something. So this is an old one, and you can see that was where you would stick it in and you would beat it. And you can see it's been beaten in its lifetime. But yeah, that's an old red ice pick, and it is top heavy, as you can imagine. There's not a whole lot here, so we'll find a way, I guess, to display that one. But they were $1 a piece. Now, this company is also a company that they do the prayer. If you saw the, oh shucks. Oh, I finally got, or I got it. I thought it wasn't there or something. It was about that Feast of the Harvest Cruel, needlepoint, whatever. That sale, that company, it was the same company, and they do a prayer before every sale. And so there were some Bibles, and I figured, and I was right, they were not going to charge it for Bibles, so I picked up an old antique Bible, or not antique, vintage Bible. It's one of those that's been well used. I didn't find a copyright, but I do see where it says it was presented to someone on Easter of April 6, 1980. So, an old, and I can't really tell, it's faded on the spine, but it looks almost like it was supposed to be a dark green. Maybe. Genuine leather. Anyway. Old Bible. And they had jewelry in a room on a table. And they had it individually priced. If it wasn't marked, there was a price list. And of course, I couldn't help myself. Strand of pearls. I like these pearls that have that creamy look. I guess that's the best thing I can say is a creamy look. It's just that, you know, they're not stark white. They're just a creamy off-white look. So I think it was $4 for the necklaces. These I thought were really nice. They were $5 a piece because they were not marked. They had other watches that were $10 a piece, but these were not marked. I just like the dainty look of them. They don't fit me, unfortunately. I tried, and I doubt that any jewelry store would have the wherewithal these days to be able to make them fit. But I got two of these little ladies watches, and you can see it has the safety. I like the little blue. It's got a little blue stone here. And I may be holding it, yeah. No, I got it upside. See, I mean, I don't even know why I thought I could wear these. I can't even read them. But that one is a little silver, or fake silver. And then this one, my mother used to have one that belonged to an aunt, I think. It may still be in the house, I'm not quite sure. But you know how the older ladies used to wear these little thin band watches. And I like them. There's the safety catch for that one. But these were both $5 a piece. I can't read who made that one. So let's see. I got another book, the Marshall Cavendish Illustrated Encyclopedia of World War II. It didn't have a dust jacket. It was just laying there, and I can't remember what they charged for these. But it's really good pictures. And no, I'm not going to cut them out, but really good pictures in here. You can see Herman Goering. And it does have this stuck in it. I mean, who does maps anymore? Maps and Travel Guide for the Rediscovery of America, the bicentennial book given out by Shell. So, of course, it is what it is, maps. And again, I don't know what I was charged for that. So, oh, the frame. I think I got to get the frame for you. I had to make myself a list to remember what to tell you about that isn't already in the box. I showed you the last time that I had bought a frame to try to fit my oil painting. It is an 18 by 24. And the one that I bought, that brown one, did not fit. So anyway, at that first sale, I went through the house. Outside on tables, they had all kinds of, you know, everything that came out of the shed. So I asked my husband, I said, what's going on in the shed? And he said, not much, just wood turning equipment, because this guy was really into making woodwork, that kind of thing. Oh, we did get a birdhouse for his mother too. I'll have to take a picture of that. Anyway, there was 2 frames sitting inside up against the wall. And I asked him, I said, is there a tape measure around here somewhere? So he found one. And sure enough, oops, sorry. It is painted white. I gotta get me some paint because I don't like the paint job on it. And no back to it, nothing to it. So I'll have to nail it in or tack it in, sorry. I'm hitting you. But the picture fits perfectly in the frame. Let me see if I can get it in there. Ah, here we go. Lord help me. I am not coordinated. So yeah, picture fits perfectly. And I think she charged me $250. That and the bird house came out of that shed. Neither were marked, so she said, "How about $5 a piece? $5 together." So it was $250 for that frame and $250 for that bird house. I'm gonna have to take a picture of it and show you. Anyway, that was a haul from 2 estate sales. Not really great estate sales. This is July 4th. We don't have any this weekend. Of course, a lot of people kind of celebrating with their family. And next weekend, I think there's like 3 listed. We're gonna try to hit 2 of them at least. So this was from 2 estate sales, 1 thrift store, and 1 antique store. No, 2 antique stores. There was 2 items from 1 antique store, 2 items from another one. Anyway, I'm gonna try to get you the pictures of Chester in his new native habitat and the pictures of the other stuff that we bought at the estate sales. And I hope you like this video. If you do, give us a thumbs up, leave us a comment. We do read and respond to as many as we can. And thank you for joining us here at South Georgia Home. We hope to see you back again. Bye.